So when a customer says, I want a patio, how do you lead with that?
Well, when someone asks me if we could do a patio for them, I typically start by asking them, what they would like to use the space for. Is it family gatherings or just entertainment outside? Maybe they like sitting around the fire ring with some marshmallows and s'mores.
It's like you said, are we doing a fire feature where the family's sitting around cooking dinner? Are we doing an outdoor kitchen? Are we implementing columns, structures? What other features in this hardscapes area are we actually going to be talking about? Because that is going to dictate how that design is done.
So Mike, why would you propose going pavers over concrete?
I get this question a ton. Should I do poured concrete or paver patios? In our strong opinion, paver patios are far better than concrete for a lot of reasons. Some very obvious reasons would be, number one, we're in Ohio, so the ground's moving all the time. If you pour a big, huge slab of concrete, when that ground moves, it's probably gonna throw a crack down your concrete. There's two types of concrete that is cracked and concrete that hasn't cracked yet. With pavers, them being individual pieces of concrete, it's gonna have, number one, stronger concrete because of the way they're built. They're built with a higher PSI than you could get out of a poured concrete system. As the ground moves, these individual pieces of concrete can flex with the ground and they never crack. If for some reason you have a cracked paver, which happens once in a blue moon, then you can just pull that paver up, put a new one down. It's a blend of colors. You're not seeing, oh, that's a new piece of concrete. Where if you had a crack down the middle of a huge slab of concrete and you were to cut that and pour, you would clearly see, here's the old and here's the new. For that reason alone, it's way better to have a paver patio than a poured concrete patio. What's the real difference between stamped concrete and paver patios?
Well, the real difference between stamped concrete and paver patios, you're gonna get the design with the stamped patio. Say you get a crack, just like with a concrete slab, and you have to cut out and replace that section. You might be able to stamp it, restamp it, and restain it, but you're never gonna get the same color as what is existing on the ground with the patio. So I would go with pavers again, because you can lift and replace that specific paver, put it back in with a color blend that's matching to what you had existing. Okay, to talk about how we install our paver patios, first off, we'd have to start off with taking grade measurements. That'll tell us if any of the surrounding grade of the proposed patio area is high or low. It might need a surrounding retaining wall to retain the patio in. That'll also help determine how many sets of steps we need. After that, then we would start to excavate out for the base. Typically, we'd go about 4 inches for our base gravel, 1 inch for sand, and then the thickness of the pavers, which is about 2 3/8 of an inch. We would start by laying our geosynthetic textile fabric, on the mud, and then we would backfill that with the gravel. We compact everything at 2-inch lifts until we get that 4 inches that we want. And then we would go and screed our bedding sand, so that way everything's nice and level and it's got the pitch that we want to take water away from the house. Finally, then we would lay the pavers with the pattern that you choose. After we lay the pavers, typically we do a clean on everything. We compact the pavers into the bedding sand. Then we follow that with installation of polymeric jointing sand. If you choose so after that, we would like to propose sealing it.